thing when we're talking about recording, you got to make sure that you have stuff, your track record enabled, or else it's not going to let you record. So for example, if I hit the record button, it's going to say no tracks are record enabled. So no tracks are record enabled because I turned the record off over here. So if I want to record this, here, let me just move this over. Oh, here, I'll do this. Make a new playlist. Oop. So no tracks are record enabled. If I want to record, now I can actually record, and it will record. All right, so we got that there, and that's this one here. Record mode normal. You must hit the record button before you start playback. So you got to hit that record button. Now, quick punch. This one's pretty cool. This is the one that like a lot of people who have been using Pro Tools for a while probably do not know about this. So check this out. This is like something to pay attention to. So here we've got, I'm going to go ahead and hit this button. I'm going to click that there. I'm going to put this into just quick punch mode. Mute that so I don't hear myself. And hit go. Yo, here comes the piano. Here's the piano. What? The piano. Yeah, there's the piano. The piano, right? And what you're going to notice is that I'm not actually recording. Oops. Wait, what's going on? I'm not recording. But here, if I hit record with quick punch mode, I can now record, right? Which is pretty cool. Quick punch mode, what it allows you to do is allows you to record and punch in and punch out and stuff like that. You saw the jets? Yeah, pretty cool, right? I did not actually see them because I turned around to come back inside, but I've seen them before. It's pretty neat stuff. All right, so now that's not the only thing that Quick Punch does. What Quick Punch does is it means that Pro Tools is actually recording all the time. If I drag this back like this, it means that it was actually recording the whole entire time, which is pretty darn cool. Right? So I wasn't actually recording any of that, but I had Quick Punch enabled. And so it was recording in the background. Let's do that one more time, just so you can ingest that. So Quick Punch allows me to do, the normal use for Quick Punch is like this. So I hit play. Hey. And I can punch in and punch out my recording. Piano. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can punch in and out my recording. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. But actually, in reality, Pro Tools is just recording the whole thing. It's not actually just recording some and not recording any, because the way Pro Tools works, it actually can't do that. So Pro Tools is recording the whole time in the background if you use Quick Punch. Pretty cool stuff. This is great if you're recording a band and you get to start recording and then you're like, wait, I wasn't recording, and they were playing and they thought you were recording. Well, as long as you have Quick Punch turned on, as long as you're at the play button hit, you're playing it, then you would have been recording it. I have seen situations where that has saved people. So it's a great one. It's a really good one to use. That's this right here. Quick Punch is always recording. To save a recording with Quick Punch, you must click record before you stop playback. It's cutting and chopping in real time. I mean, I guess you could look at it like cutting and chopping in real time. I'm responding to Flawless Geo. So it's like cutting and chopping in real time. I guess so. I don't know if I would call it so much as that, but it's, I mean, you could use it like that, I guess. If you stop playback first, the background recording will be lost. So if I go in here, if I'm using Quick Punch and I hit go and I'm recording, blah, 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 recording, blah, 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 I had to hit that Quick Punch button. If I don't, I just hit stop. The recording is gone forever. Wherever it puts it just goes away. So you got to hit, I'm recording, I'm not recording. Oh, I thought I was recording. Oh my goodness. So I just hit record like right now, blah, 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 blah. And now I can drag it back using my trim tool, and so it's recording the whole time. So that's Quick Punch. Quick Punch comes from the old days of only using tape and having to punch in and punch out. You're saying, how will the clip of Quick Punch look? It looks the same as any other clip. There's no difference. Like later on, you wouldn't be able to tell Quick Punch or if it was recorded with Quick Punch or just edited in. There's no difference in how they look. All right, and then finally we have destructive mode. Destructive mode, don't even worry about it. Seriously, forget it exists. Don't use destructive mode. Don't worry about destructive mode. At one point in time, there was a reason to have destructive mode. That reason no longer exists. It had to do with the cost of memory and the expensive hard drives and how expensive they were. But now they're not expensive, so whatever. Don't worry about it. All right. A quick thing about recording in mono versus stereo. Almost all microphone tracks are recorded in mono. If you're recording a drum kit, you're going to record mono. If I'm recording a drum kit, here's how I would set up my session. I would set up like this. Go over here, and I'd make, let's say it's six microphones I'm using. So I'd have 6 mono audio tracks for my drum kit. And this is what you would do. I'm just using 6 as an example. I mean, 6 is just an arbitrary number. But my point is, they're all mono. So I would name this one here, bass drum mic. And then this one here would be snare drum mic. And this one here. Cool. I'm glad you got to see them. That's really neat. I'm glad you got to see them. That's awesome. So I got my bass drum, I got my snare drum, I got my hi-hat, I got my tom 1, I got my tom 2, I got my floor tom. And let's get a couple more for my overheads. This one here is overhead left and overhead right, like this. Yeah, jets like that are cool, right? They're loud. They're so loud. So loud. All right. So bass drum, snare drum, hi-hat, tom 1, tom 2, floor tom, overhead left, overhead right. Now, these instruments I just made, these tracks I just made, these are all mono tracks, and I would go ahead later on, I'd pan them left and right and stuff like that. So this hi-hat would go over here maybe, and the tom 1, tom 2, floor tom way over here, like this. And then my overhead left and right would be like this. Okay, so now I've got my drums all set up like this. And what I would do, and we're gonna talk about this in more detail another day, but I would go ahead and drum group, give them a name, I would make an aux track, and I would send all these drums to go into this aux track that I just made here. So now they're all going in here. So these are all mono tracks, but they're going into my stereo tracks over here. Okay, so the question is, if mixes are in stereo, why are most audio tracks gonna be mono? And the reason why is because that's how we record stuff. We record with one microphone. Here, let me just switch over so you can see me here. So we record, whoops, whoa, hold on. Don't need this one, there we go. So we have one microphone here, let's say we have one, like we wanna put it here, and another one here, another one here, another one here, like this. So they're all in various areas of our stereo spectrum, but this is like one piece of audio. It's a mono audio track, and this is another piece of mono audio track, and this is another piece of mono audio. So we got these little one pieces of mono audio, but together they make up a stereo track, and that's why everything is set up like that. And we can see here in this picture, we here, we got a bass drum, snare drum, and on my thing, here, they go into stereo tracks like this. They go into a stereo track. The output is stereo. So we got our speakers are left and right, but you're gonna have a whole bunch of mono files to go into that one stereo file, right? So that's like I hope that answers a question. Some people have that question like, oh, if it's like this, why don't I use a bunch of stereo tracks? And the reason why you don't use a bunch of stereo tracks is because the stereo files are made up of a bunch of mono files. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so each individual track, when we're setting it up for recording, make sure we're good with this, is I've got I'm going to delete these, hold on. I don't need these tracks. So here's my tone of recording. We can see here what I've got, how I've got this set up. I've got my input is the mic line .left and .r, which is for if you're using like a stereo or something like that, stereo feed. I can rename these names here if I want, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a bit. The output is my monitors left and right. This is my normal output for now. And then down here, I've got all this stuff here. My input, my record, my mute, and my solo. Let's go take a look at the screen again. Input, record, mute, and solo. And that's what we're looking at here on our track. Here's our track stuff here. Okay, so let's just name. Let's take a look at this one more time. Here we go. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, so here's our input, here's our output. Here's our automation read, which we're going to talk about another time. Here's our group. We're not going to talk about that so much. We'll talk about it a little bit later. And then I got my pan left and right, and I can also click and drag. Well, can you double click that? Oh, not on this window. You can do that in a different window. And then here I got my input, I got my mute, and I got my solo. And if I want to record the track, I can hit the record button. Now, the input monitor is for if I just want to hear my microphone without actually recording anything, right? But I don't want to do that. If I wanted to make sure that I'm getting a good signal for it, but I don't want to hear it, I'd hit input and hit the mute button. Now I can talk into it, check, check, 1, 2, and I can see, okay, I'm getting a good signal here. If I want to record it, check, check, 1, 2, you can see, we're going to see the signal when I'm recording, and now I can actually record it. If I hit record, 3 key, you're going to see this little thing pops up on the screen that says, no tracks are record enabled. Okay, fine, right? So I got to make sure I record enabled the track. Mute mutes the track, it turns it off so we don't hear it, and solo lets the track play by itself or with other soloed tracks. Okay? And then down here on the bottom, we have here is this. If I click on this, it shows me what my level of my fader is. Or if I hold down Command and click it, it'll show me what my overage is, like what my level is here. And then down here it shows us our track type, and here's the name of the track. Now, one thing you've noticed is that I always name my tracks. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new track. And I'm going to, I'll do a little beatboxing, right? I'm not a great beatboxer, but I can beatbox. So I'm going to call this one Beatbox. You'll notice that I named my track first. The reason why I named my track, does anybody know why I named the track before I'm actually doing anything? You might want to chime in and give me an answer to that, why I'm naming it before I'm doing anything. The reason why I'm naming it before I'm doing anything is absolutely to keep it organized. Thank you. To keep it organized, yep. Because when I name it before I record anything, it actually names the audio file. So let me just show you that. Let me just go ahead and undo my name of the track. And I'm going to go ahead and record something in here real quick. I'm going to record this beatbox here. We're going to do it from the beginning. And I'm going to set the loop to loop this section right here. And I'm going to loop record. I got my loop record turned on. Why are we not? Why am I not hearing anything coming through here? Oh, it's the wrong one. There we go. Check, check. Okay, cool. Let's record that in here. And let's record that. Boots and cats, boots and cats, boots. cats, boots, boots, cats. I love that video when it came out, right? So I've got this here, and here we got this, and it doesn't look like anything. And if I go look at my audio file on the computer, where are we recording this into? What are you saying? That ain't it, Chief. To what? To my beatboxing skills? I'll have you know, people come from miles around for my beatboxing skills. But you might be talking about something else. So here, it just says audio, right? I have no idea what this audio is. Let's actually see, what is this audio here? I feel like this is different. Oh, this is me, something. Let's listen to that. Wait, mute, unmute. Oh, okay, that was that one there. What's the other one? Audio 1-1. What is this? Oh, this is just the silence, yeah. So you can see, this is like, if I don't organize it, if I don't name it, it's not gonna say anything like correct. It's gonna be like whatever, you know? So we're gonna go ahead and turn that on again. And I'm gonna organize this beat box. Awesome. And now we're gonna beatbox again. Even if you don't like my beatboxing, you have to listen to it unless you mute me. All right, cool. Let's do this, and take this and all right, I got that. I can add some other stuff. Add that. Oh yeah, we're very, very serious up in here. So I got my different beatboxing skills on parade. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna duplicate this track a couple times. I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna duplicate it twice because, right, the 808, be careful all that bass. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab, since these are all this, I'm gonna go ahead and see which one is which, the best one. That's my shaker. This one here is, what was that, the 4, so 3 was this, here we go, cool. So, grab this one here, and grab my shaker from over here, and I'm gonna grab my open hi-hat from here. Now remember, these are all late, right? And it's kind of annoying, but they're all late. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take all 3 of these and move them back. And again, this would not be a problem if you're actually doing this, like not running through 5 different other programs. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my nudge here. Nudge is something where I can move things around by samples. And I got my plus, my minus, whoa. There we go, there's that. And let's get this one here. Move that ahead a little bit. Come on. Move that over, and this one looks pretty good actually. Cool, all right. So now I got this. Put this back into here, put this back into here. I didn't know Timberland was famous for being a beatboxer. I thought that was more Roz. Okay, this, get rid of the beginning here. So now I got these things here, and I'm just gonna duplicate these over Rozelle, right? Cool, okay, so we can hear these ones here are off, so I'm gonna go ahead and drag these over. Now, if I've got, oh yeah, here, drag it back over here. If you notice, I'm in grid mode up here in my mode, edit modes. Oh, really? Beatboxing? Cool. I didn't know that. And And I'm just going to go ahead and cut some of these up. So this one here. So what I was saying before is if I'm in grid mode, I want to put it into like temporary slip mode, what I call it temporary slip mode. I can just hold down my command key here. See how I'm holding down my command key? And I can move it over. And hold on, we're going to do this here. And I can just move it over. Boop, like that. There we go. But I'm way better. Thanks. Definitely. He ain't got nothing on me. Nothing. Sweetness. All right, so let's listen to these. All right, awesome. So we got that there, and I'm going to go ahead and consolidate that again. Oh, yeah. So we got this here, and now we can... That's hilarious. All right, it's clipping. We have to turn that down, but you know, you get the idea, right? So we gotta listen to all these. Let's put an EQ on that. Get rid of all those low frequencies. There we go. Oh, so much better. Oh my goodness. And then this one here. Yeah, let's do the same thing with this one. Not quite as much. Obviously, we don't want to take it all out, but... Sweet. Turn that down a little bit. Chicka, 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 right? And this one here. Let's put this in here, because that's a... Yeah, get rid of all that low energy, right? Put this up here. Cool. Turn it down. There we go. Sweet. Cool. All right, we got my awesome beatboxing skills. What? Okay. That's what the world needs, is Tony beatboxing. I'm going to put these over here with my other drums, and we're going to take these beatboxes, and since I just recorded them anywhere, right? It didn't matter where I was recording them necessarily, and I'm going to drop them in right over here. There we go. So now we got that there, and if we hit play, cool. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we're going to leave those right where they are. So tomorrow, because remember, was it tomorrow? One of these days. I'm not sure which day it is, but coming up soon, where is it? Not the audio and the... This one here, elastic audio. Okay, so it's like sometime next week, we're going to be talking about elastic audio and timing correction in our audio. So we're going to come back to all this, and we're going to be cleaning this up and making it like a lot smoother. And we can also talk about putting some effects and stuff in there and making it really sound really beefy and whatever. All right, so you got that. And the level setting. Yeah, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier when I was showing you my camera here. Let's do this here real quick. Tony, yeah. And if I move this over here, you can see this is how I do the level setting on this device. So I've got this here, and what I would do is I'd check into it 1 2 check 1 2 1 2 1 2 check. And if I'm singing like this, then it's fine. If I was singing like this, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, then I want to make sure I set the gain so it picks up the gain like that. So if I'm singing really loud, 1 2 1 2 1 2, you see how it's clipping? 1 2, it's totally clipping, right? So I want to make sure that it's not clipping. I would actually turn the gain down for that. Right? So that's the first part of our level setting procedure. We got to go in here and we got to make sure our levels are good. And you got to adjust your preamp gain for that kind of stuff there. Once I've got that set up, your output from your audio interface should come straight into Pro Tools, and you won't have to do anything in Pro Tools except maybe turn it up a little bit later or turn it down to fit the mix. Keep in mind, when you're doing your level setting, the musician should always play at the normal volumes, the normal volume levels. So, hold on, let me get this over there like that, yeah. So that you don't, if they're going to be doing a loud part like I just said, you don't want them to come out and like be doing test 1 2 test 1 2 all quietly. You want them to be doing it loudly. If they're going to be doing it like quiet, you don't want them to be checking the level loud, because that's not a good representation of what they're about to play and what you're about to record. One thing to keep in mind, this part in red here, let's see, is don't let the singers or horn players sing super loud for too long. Save it for the recording. They'll blow themselves out. Like they'll blow their, if it's a horn player, they'll blow their lips. If it's a singer, they'll blow their vocal cords. You got to be aware of this stuff. And this is the type of stuff that you do come to understand more and more as a producer. If you're a singer, it helps, but definitely as a producer, it's going to be something for you. Okay. Loop record, we talked about this. This is kind of like a description about what it's doing here. Oftentimes when I'm recording, like if I'm recording a verse, here, let's just lay down a verse real quick with this. Let's see here, tone and recording. Okay, here I'm gonna make another track after this one here. I'm gonna call it Tony verse. So I got this here, and if I want to record the verse like right here, these 2 bars, spit a 16. Oh, I got you. It's gonna be pure fire. No R on the end of that, not fire, fire, right? So here, if I want to record this, like a verse here, what I'm going to do, let's say the verse starts here, and it's a 4-bar verse. So what I'd do is I like to set my recording to be 1 bar on either side. So I have a 2-bar buffer between it, okay? So in here, we're gonna do this, check, check, 1, 2, check, 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 make sure my mic is correct. You can see it's not. For some reason, it was putting it in here as input number 2, check, 1, 2, there we go. Input number 1, hey, check, 1, 2, check, 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 1, 2. Oh, Beastie Boys. Yeah, actually, there's a new documentary that just came out on Apple Plus, Apple TV, Apple Plus, a Beastie Boys documentary. Which I forgot to watch over the weekend. I need to watch it. Or is it coming out this coming weekend? I don't know. I think it was last weekend. But I got to watch that. Anyway, I'm a big fan. So we got this here, and let's see. Whoops. I'll do 1 bar before and 1 bar after. And so the actual bars that I'm trying to record are these 4 bars in the middle here. These are the ones that are the important parts, okay? So there we go, there's that, and okay. My cat, he's a fuzzy little dude. He wakes up late and he sleeps all day, which is kind of weird because he's just sleeping all day. What? And I'll let it go. Again, come back. Oops, oh wait, we gotta loop record. Loop record. Let's do that again. My cat, he's a fuzzy little dude. He wakes up late and he sleeps all day. That's kind of weird because he's sleeping all day. So why does he even wake up at all? All right, and I'll let this go. My cat is not Garfield. Stop it. My cat, he's a fuzzy little dude. He wakes up late and he sleeps all day. Why does he even wake up when he's sleeping all day? What a cat. Do this a couple times. My cat, fuzzy little dude. Put some ad-libs. Yeah, because I wrote these verses down. I totally wrote all these verses down. If you could see me, I'm dropping my mic right now. Boom. Okay, so now we got this. just recorded that, and here it is. Here's the verse, one of the verses, and then here's my other verse right there, boom. So we got that, and then this actually goes a little bit further into this other part over here, but that gets cut off. I know they were hot. You don't got to tell me. What? All right. So, but my point is that I'm leaving a blank measure on the beginning and on the end. This one here is to get ready. This one here is to kind of have a nice little break to go back and forth. Totally a rap crew. You didn't know that? Totally a rap crew. Actually, a bunch of the vocals from our first few songs were all me pitched down until I was like, I got to get a real rapper. I got to get a real person. Okay, so I got this. My cat. All right, let's go ahead and just move everything. I'm going to go ahead and show my playlists here. I'm going to make an empty playlist. And I'm going to move these over so we can actually, so they line up. Also, aren't you in mod 3 now? What are you doing here? Boom. Let's see. Grid. There we go. Ugh. Move that over. Boop, boop, boop. My cat. Line that up. What? Okay, solo this out.
My cat. He's a fuzzy little dude. He wakes up late and he sleeps all day. Why does he even wake up when he's sleeping all day? What a cat.
All right, there we go. So I got that in there. And now...
My cat. He's a fuzzy little dude. He wakes up late and he sleeps all day.
Now I don't actually need to listen to it with that loop. So I'll go ahead and put this loop back here like this. And now I've got...
Cat. He's a fuzzy little dude. He wakes up late and he sleeps all day. Why does he even wake up when he's sleeping all day? What a cat. Cat.
Right, and now I can go back and forth between these. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one up top. Like that. Boop. Get rid of this one. Get rid of the end over here. Now I feel like I did this part better. The second half was better. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that up to the top. And now let's listen to that.
Cat. He's a fuzzy little dude. He wakes up late and he sleeps all day. That's kind of weird because he's sleeping all day. So why does he even wake up at all? Cat.
Right? These are deep thoughts. Deep thoughts. I'll keep you up at night. All right. So there you go. So we got that there. And that's just like a little bit of a quick, like how you would actually do like a little recording. All right, and that's the end of today's lesson. Let's do this. Let's take a break and come back at 1. Let's come back into Zoom. Like for right now, let's come back into Zoom because I want to talk to you all about some stuff and get the results from the questionnaire that I sent out as well. And let's talk about some stuff and just talk about some things, okay? This is us during Corona. I see where you... See? Yeah. Yeah, you got me. You got me. You feeling me? Oh, yeah. All right. So we're going to hop over to the Zoom meeting, and I'll see you in there. I'm going to go ahead and stop all the recording.